And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Appreciate your patience here this morning. Your boy's dealing with a little bit of a back problem. So it's one of those things. It's weird because a couple years ago, I had like a freak accident with the turkey, actually. And but that was when I hit something. Like I slammed my neck into my refrigerator or into the, when the door comes down on the freezer, and I like lifted my refrigerator with my neck, which was not great. But that's kind of how I feel. But I didn't do that this year. I thought maybe that shouldn't be a turkey tradition for me to be lifting refrigerators with my neck. But we're going to be talking to a guy in a second who's doing all types of stuff with his neck and his body and his muscles. And we were talking off the air about some of the things I saw. I was like, this is like Walker, Texas Ranger stuff. I'm like, this is like mafia movie. I was like, these are the things you can do in wrestling. It's like, man, once you're on that mat and they say go, there's a lot of interesting moves that can be made for sure. So we're going to talk with Charlie Foster in the new edition of the Lazers Lounge in just a moment. And then we'll be jumping into my conversation with Paul Seeley, the director of the Big 44 games, Section 3 and Section 4 All-Stars for high school football in upstate New York. And Section 3 is this area. So when you hear me talk to West Genesee and CNS and CBA and Liverpool and Beeville and all that, that's Section 3 for those that don't know. And so the Big 44 game, Section 3 won big, 56-7. And we'll discuss that as well as the upcoming state semifinals for high school football that are going to be hosted by Cicero North Syracuse over the weekend. So a lot of great stuff. And in hour number 2, it's a separate video on Wednesday because our fantasy football coverage and our NFL coverage is so vast. So that will be its own video for NFL Week 13. A lot of great stuff coming up. We're up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. And on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. And so we appreciate you from wherever you are. And with that being said, from these Great Lakes Honda City Studios, it is my honor and my pleasure to bring in Mr. Charlie Foster here on the video, picture, bringing him in. I was just around this gentleman and his teammates a few days ago when I was at the New York State Collegiate Wrestling Championships hosted by Onondaga Community College that featured schools within the NJCAA for junior college as well as the NCAA. So with that being said, Mr. Foster, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing very well. And so if I am correct in saying this, you had some success on that Saturday. You did some good things. And so let everybody know what you did for your weight class and how you finished the championships over this past weekend.
Yeah, I wrestled at 174. I went 4-0, got the win this weekend.
Yeah, went 4-0, got first place in your weight class of 174 pounds like you were talking about. So in 4 different matches, taking everybody down. Just bring me into that. I mean, you're somebody who is a bright spot as this young program in its second year when it comes to OCC wrestling. As they move forward, you're one of the pieces over this past weekend that they can build upon. So what is it like for you to be a torchbearer for the program and to show the capability of this program to go 4-0?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a late start to the season. I feel like most teams have already gotten a bunch of matches in, so it was exciting to get to our first tournament, get out there, see what everybody can do. And I just went in there confident, got some good bonus points in my first 3 matches. I felt really good. I was excited to get out there. Finals match, I knew I had some tough competition, but that's what we're looking for, getting out there, getting the good matches and showing everybody what we worked hard for. I think our team, we wrestled tough. We got some places to improve, and it's early in the season. So that was our first tournament. So.
Well, yeah, and like you said, the first tournament of the season starting a little bit later. How have you kind of work through keeping your body ready? Like, what's your regimen when you're putting this all together? I mean, what are you doing for yourself to make sure you're at the weight that you need to be at, doing the things you need to be doing, that the weight that you have is good weight, right? That you have your muscle, you have what you need, you have the right nutrients going into your body. Just bring me into like the Charlie Foster kind of plan that you are consistent with from week to week to make sure that you are ready for this match.
Yeah, I mean, preseason is huge. Like getting your weight up to where you want to be. You know, you don't want to cut too much weight, but you don't want to be too light. So that's important. And keeping your body healthy. Like I'm lifting 4 days a week usually. I'm always in the gym doing, maybe not lifting crazy heavy, but just stuff to keep my mobility, my strength, everything good and check. And then before practice, I'll do like heat on whatever I need. Like usually I do my knees. So I'll heat my knees for 30 minutes. I'll roll out, and then I'm out to practice. We practice Monday through Saturday, every day. Always getting in there. You know, we get a good warm up in, feeling good, get that work in. Staying consistent in the gym is huge, I think. And then I'm always like, we have a sauna at my house too. I like to hit the sauna. I do a little like red light therapy when I can, stretching after the sauna, just staying as healthy as I can. It's a long season, so your body gets beat up for sure. But the little things always help.
Hey, you talking about having a sauna at your house because I know you commute to OCC from the Verona area, and so I want to shout out your parents because you got a sauna at the crib, at the house. So mom and dad are doing all right. What are your name? What is mom and dad's names?
Oh, my mom Joanne and my dad Mark.
Okay, so to Joanne and Mark, 2 questions. One, what made you get a sauna? Because that's awesome at the house. And 2, like, when are we doing a Foster Tortora dinner so that I can enjoy the sauna myself? I guess is the big question. I mean, how long has this sauna been at the Foster household?
Well, last year my dad was like on his crazy health kick thing. So he got a sauna. You got like all this. We have a big red light thing. We got everything, the little health hacks, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
So we got a sauna. I always like to use that. And if I go to the gym and use the sauna, I always have. So it's nice to just have it right at the house. Hop in the sauna, get some red light.
Yeah. So you go home. Some guys are playing video games. You're sitting in the sauna, just getting your body right and relaxing. Like, do you have teammates that have, kind of befriended you quickly and been like, hey, Charlie, great to meet you. My name's Bob. When can I come to the house? Like, I mean, have you had guys kind of mess with you and be like, hey, man, it's not fair that you get to have this sauna love. Like, I need to get myself over there too.
They think I'm crazy. They think like this red light stuff, and it doesn't work. They're like, I'm like, dude, you gotta believe, you gotta trust. It's gonna help every little thing. I mean, what is it gonna do if it doesn't help? They're doubting me. They don't want to come use my sauna. They're like, oh, you're crazy. This stuff doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you that's got to be a very nice thing to have. You got to shout out the parents and appreciate the parents for doing that. And, beyond that, for mom and dad, for Joanne and to Mark, the Foster family, what do you want to say to your parents? I believe that if they're not watching right now, I believe they are listening because I think that they're on our internet radio feed from what I saw pop up. So what do you want to say to mom and dad?
I think they're watching. What's up?
Okay.
I mean, they do so much for me. I'm so thankful for them. My mom makes me dinner. My whole high school career, my dad drove me hours to practice. My parents are always there. If I need some food, they make me food. Whatever I need, like my dad gets me the sauna. If I need something for recovery, they're there. They're helping me. Always sending me videos of little things I could do to help, like, improve whatever. Anything, stretching, recovery, wrestling videos. They're always trying to get me to watch matches. And they're always there for me. So I'm thankful for that.
I was going to say, I mean, when you got a family that cares about health and, taking care of yourself, recovery and all of that, it's got to be easy to be a student athlete. I mean, is this just something that was with you from birth when you have parents that care so much about overall health? Did you kind of just grow up thinking like I'm gonna play something, like I'm gonna be in some type of collegiate sport?
Yeah, it's like, how could I not be successful? I have everybody's going for everything's going for me. It's easy to be successful when you have two of the biggest supporters. Always always giving you good food, everything, bringing you to practice, giving you these opportunities.
Yeah, and
Just a
you,
recipe for success, I think.
yeah, and you know your home, Vernon, Verona, Cheryl, VVS. The we talk about schools bonding nowadays, but this was like they got on it. VVS got on it a while back, where they decided to kind of combine everything in the community. What was it like to go there, and just your experiences there, and how you feel like you were challenged to prepare you to be a student athlete collegiately?
Yeah, there I had a bunch of supporters too. Everybody in the school supported me. I would say like a lot of people. It was pretty. It wasn't a crazy jump to college, honestly. Like my parents are always on me about getting good grades too. That's another thing. Like I've always been in school, getting my work done. I'm getting yelled at if I'm failing any class or something like that. My mom's always on me, so it's pretty easy transition. And athletic wise, like I've always worked hard. Or in high school, I was doing like two practices almost every night of the week, or I was practicing and getting in the gym. So it wasn't a hard transition to go from high school practicing twice, keeping good grades to college. You're getting your lifts in, you're practicing every day,
Yeah.
eating good, everything. Pretty much the same regimen for me out. So
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, having the support in school, having the support with your parents, it's important. It takes a village, as they say. And so, with the support that you have had, how do you pay it forward when you've had this love and this appreciation and people that are there for you, looking out for Charlie? How has Charlie looked out for others?
yeah, if anybody needs anything, like I'm there to help. I'll do anything for my parents, for anybody that supports me. My other coaches, my coaches at OCC, my high school coaches, my trainers, Todd Kutri, Zach Zupan. I'm always there if they need anything. And I think getting the wins too is the biggest payout. Like when you compete good, it's like all that work that everybody put in. It's like it's right there. It's the rewards for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and for you here with Charlie Foster, celebrating this Laser Lounge, focusing on Onondaga Community College wrestling, and with Charlie being a student athlete inside the 2025-26 season, a lot of things to discuss, a lot to get into. I want to make a note here, and I got to give a shout out to Taylor Casella. So she's done a ton of fantastic work with sports information at OCC, and I told her over the weekend that she's one of those people that gives you the information, works with you, is really good about timing and all that. So I want to give Taylor a shout out. And so she said this, Charlie, and I want to make sure I share this today. Not only did you go 4-0, and not only did you win for your class, but you were voted Region 3 Wrestling Athlete of the Week. And a photo of you at the tournament over the weekend got NJCAA Photo of the Week. So congratulations on being Region 3 Wrestling Athlete of the Week, and not only that, but to know that the NJCAA saw one of the photos from your 4-0 opportunity over the weekend and what you did, and they called that the photo of the week. So there's some. Do you know the photo that they utilized? And so first and foremost, congratulations on those things, and then secondly, did you know that they utilized one of your photos?
I didn't. Yeah, I had no idea. I'm just finding that out. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to see what photo they got because I only think I've seen one photo of me, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, is there a moment, because things happen quickly but slowly on a mat, right? There's certain moves that happen, and then you get somebody in a position, and you're holding on to them. There's the chance that maybe it's fast, but then I was watching some of the matches where, you know, there's a guy in a hold and there's minutes going by and he's not giving up and they're just kind of slowly moving through it. So is there something over this past weekend, since you don't know the photo that the NJCAA called the photo of the week, is there a moment that you recall over the weekend that you think, I hope they used that photo?
Uh, I don't know. I would hope the photo was in my finals match at some point. Like towards the end, I feel like was super exciting. Like it was fast paced. Uh, that last 30 seconds when I got that final takedown, that duck under, maybe that photo, that would be pretty cool. But not anything that I could think of, to be honest.
Now, is there a favorite move that you had over the weekend in any one of those four matches? Is there something that sticks out to you? I don't want you to give away all your secrets, but like, is there a move you put on somebody that you'd like to share?
No, I don't think I didn't do anything like crazy. I just stuck to my stuff. I would say my final like move, I just had good position and I hit that duck under. That was pretty clean, I would say, for the most part. That was probably my favorite takedown for sure.
So if somebody knows like nothing about wrestling, nothing about the lingo, and they're watching, like what should somebody know if they're like beginner eyes to wrestling and they see two guys on the mat? What should they know about what's legal, illegal, any lingo? Like what would you teach somebody if you wanted them to get the full effect of a match?
And then, I mean, I used to be two, now it's three. So like everybody, once you get the takedown, everybody else three. That's a cool thing. I think that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Not many like illegal things. I mean, simple stuff like locking your hands, nothing crazy exciting. I mean, I think the three is the biggest. It's hard. Wrestling's like weird because I was talking to one of our trainers and he's never watched wrestling before, and he's like, "Man, I have no idea what's going on out there." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't even know where to start because it's like it's obviously when you get a takedown, I feel like it's pretty obvious, but there's some positions it's like I don't know how to explain that to a person that like has untrained eyes. Be like, oh, this and that. That's why it's just more complicated than that. You got to watch a few matches.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, when you're at this New York State Collegiate Wrestling Championships that OCC was hosting over the week, which was massive, by the way. Like, there was so many schools there, a ton of people there, and OCC being the host of it was great exposure not only to the wrestling team, but to Onondaga Community College as an institution and to the Lazers athletic programs in general in the athletic department. So shout out to OCC for hosting it. When I'm watching, I'm seeing certain things where, like, there's one guy that got picked up, flipped over, and put down on the mat, and I'm like, oh, it's over. But like, he wasn't done, right? Because like you said, you got to count. So I'm like, how is this guy not out of it? So I'm seeing that, and then I'm seeing another match where this guy's like literally parallel to the ground. He's leaned back. Somebody's got his neck, and he's like slowly working his way, like inch by inch, to like walk this guy that's got him, you know, got him by the head. He's trying to still move and stay off the mat. So there's like these matches where you're thinking, how is this guy still in it? And then there's other matches where like there's a big time move. So what can you say to that effect, that there's a match where you're going to see somebody picked up and slammed down to the ground like the Hulk is taking care of them, and then there's other matches where it's like someone's trying to lull somebody to sleep by just holding on to them long enough?
Right. I think So some matches are definitely going to be quicker than others. It's an exciting sport. A lot of things can happen quick, but those grinders, when you got like, it's hard to put a grown man on his back like that and hold him there. That's when that technical stuff comes in. You're kind of just like, slowly getting him down.
Yeah.
I would say, some matches are pretty intense, and that's when you have like kind of the mismatch. It's like things happen so fast, the match is over all of a sudden, and then sometimes you just got a grinder, like it's just a battle. Yeah. Those are the best ones.
So for you, of the four matches you had, I know obviously, being in the championship and winning that and securing your victory for your weight class, but besides getting that victory at the end, what sticks out to you? Like, what was your favorite part over the weekend? Like you said, you were eager to get out there, like this team started a little bit late as far as like your first match, but to finally get out there and be in it, what other favorite moments did you have of different things that you did, something that worked, just a match itself? Bring us into it. Let us live vicariously through you for a second of what you remember the most over the weekend.
Yeah, I would say another exciting match I had was my semifinals match too. I had like an expected opponent, maybe someone I'll see at the national tournament. That was a pretty good matchup for me. I would like to say our rival, pretty much Niagara.
Yeah.
They're 174 pounder. Me and my coach have been going over a game plan, all my coaches, and I kind of just stuck to it, and it worked super well. And I was just having fun out there. Everything I did seemed to be working the plan, and I ended up getting a tech ball, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Especially against an opponent I'll see at nationals, and my game plan was working perfect. I was having fun getting takedowns, scoring points. That's the best thing, scoring points.
Do you know, like when you're in a match, can you just sense, like they think they got you, they're trying to do a move, you're trying to do something, you're locked in. You said that those like tight matches are the ones that you like the most. Those are the most exciting ones, the ones where it's taken more time. So when it's taken more time and it's a chess match, and and you and the other guy are looking for positioning, you're looking for an opening, you're looking for like a little hair to be able to make a move. Do you know when you got somebody? Like when they think I'm playing chess with Charlie and I'm about to checkmate, can you almost sense it at this point with all the wrestling that you've done, that you know when you're about to get someone, or do you surprise yourself sometimes?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. I mean, I didn't expect to hit that shot there at the very end, but it definitely is like a chess match. And you're thinking, and you got these things in the back of your pocket. You're gonna hit this move when he steps here, but I don't like to think too much, like while I'm out there. I feel like if you overthink things, you kind of mess yourself up.
Yeah.
But you get a good feel. You're moving around, and then sometimes you can tell. You're like, okay, I know I'm gonna hit this right now. Like I know it's coming. I've been working at it all match. You pull it out of your back pocket, you hit a slick takedown. But it definitely was a chess game for sure.
We talk about, with other sports, watching film and studying your opponent. Do you do that when you know that something's coming up? Are you studying someone else's technique? Are you studying what they're doing? Or in wrestling, are you not doing that as much? Is there not, is it more of the weight training and the nutrition and all that, but not as much as the film study? Like bring me into how much film goes into it when you are facing somebody.
Yeah, this year, my one of my coaches, Zach Zupan, uh, he's been on me about watching film like ever since high school, and I never did. I didn't watch film that much at all. And then I got to college, and he made it pretty apparent that if I wanted to be successful, I needed to watch film. And now I watch film pretty much every day. I come in here and I do my homework, and when I'm done with my homework, I watch the matches. I pick up on things, and then before my finals match too, I even was watching some film on the guy I was going to wrestle. Me and my coach, we were coming up with a good game plan, ways I could score, what he does just by watching this film and sticking to that game plan is what brings success for sure. But there's so much film. I watch hours and hours every week of wrestling now.
Now, when you say you watching hours and hours a week of wrestling, some people think of wrestling and it's not the wrestling that you do. Like we're talking literal, actual body against body trying to beat someone and get someone to submit. Where when other people talk about wrestling, it's lights and it's Vegas feel and it's people with giant personalities and wearing capes and all this stuff and you can't see me and all that. Now, keep in mind, I love John Cena. I got to meet John Cena. He's fantastic. But when you talk about wrestling and somebody doesn't know and they're like, oh, like WWE, like how do you watch it at all? Do you care about it? I mean, the wrestling meets entertainment meets like what of it is real, what is not real, what's kind of like worked out in stages, and like who's actually getting hurt and whatnot. Do you partake in watching any of that, or do you consider that like, no, that's blasphemy to what I do in wrestling?
Yeah, no, that's like there's no relation at all. I don't think there's like nothing that it happens in the WWE is related to wrestling in any way. I don't watch any of it. I never really have, but no, not related. Definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting because they call it both the same thing, but then when
Right.
they come and they see a match with you, it's different. And when you're in these heated battles, in these chess matches, you said you try to not think, and I can agree with that from the basketball point of view of growing up playing basketball and taking every single moment. Like if I pick up yesterday, I was in the gym. I pick up a basketball. I miss my first three free throws. I'm like, what the hell, Dan? Like, I mean, I have expectations of myself. So when you're in these chess matches and you're locked in with somebody and you're trying to figure out what's my next move and they're trying to do the same thing and you say, "Hey, I got to shut my brain off to a certain extent." I agree with that because and I was kind of smiling when you said it. There was I'll never forget this game. There was a game I went in, I hit a 3, came down, hit a 3 in almost the same area, and then I thought to myself, I got to make this next shot. And I was thinking it while I was shooting it. As soon as I released it, I said it's too far to the right. So you have to shut your brain off once you're in it. So what are you doing in those moments? What are like is it just trusting your instinct? Is it animal mentality? Like what when you are so locked in and somebody watching the match is going, I can't tell you who the hell's going to win this thing. Are you thinking at all, or what do you kind of switch into? Because I truly do agree with you that you can't really think once you're in the game itself.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're in the practice room so much. You do things over and over again so many times, and I feel like it just comes naturally. Like you just gotta shut. Especially you get tired. Getting tired. You're thinking about being tired. That's not how you want to be. You gotta shut your brain off. You just gotta think about getting that win. And the moves you do every day, they'll come to you in the match. You'll feel that. And I think just staying focused, calm, sticking to your game plan, and not really overthinking too many things is definitely the way to go. Like you'll find way more success just not thinking about what you're doing and just letting your body naturally go to where it needs to go.
Well, I mean, what you're talking about here is mental toughness, trust, and faith in yourself. Why do you have all those things?
Oh yeah, I think faith, trust in myself, it all comes from the work you put in. You put in so many weeks. And I was talking with my dad. You wrestle. What did I wrestle for? Like 20 minutes this weekend. How many hours did I train to wrestle for 20 minutes? Is a ridiculous number to go out there and wrestle one time, a couple times. You're putting in hours and hours and hours, and days, and you wrestle for 20 minutes. And I think all that confidence comes from all the hard work you put in. You're gonna doubt yourself if you cut yourself short somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and like you said, put in all those hours just for a few minutes. I completely understand that world for sure. This Laser Lounge with Charlie Foster, Onondaga Community College wrestling student athlete inside the 2025-26 season. Before we get into rapid fire, where you and I could talk about literally any subject and put each other on the hot seat, I do want to go to you were at the University at Buffalo and you transferred to OCC. So what was it about OCC that spoke to you? You and I were talking off the air about the Diego Pavia situation with Diego coming from junior college and going into the NCAA, and now he's at Vanderbilt. And if Diego's not at Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt's not a college football playoff caliber team right now. So he's putting JUCO on the map right now, so shout out to him for that as well. But, why did you leave Buffalo, come to OCC? Are you thinking at all about Diego Pavia's case that if this goes through, junior college won't count against your NCAA years of eligibility? And just, overall, why go to OCC And what is it about Zach Gifford? That's one. And then the second piece is, how much do you think as a student athlete about Diego Pavia and what's going on?
Yeah, I mean the coaches here are great. I talk to my family, my coaches, my trainers so much about making this decision, and I think like this is a good spot for me. The coaches are with me every day. My family's with me every day. I'm close to home. I have a Todd Kutri, my trainer. He's not far from my house. Zach Zupan, someone I trained with all throughout my high school.
Yeah.
He made me so much of a better wrestler. He's right here too. You know, I can make leaps and bounds here, I think. And the eligibility too. I that was a huge factor as well. You know, another year of training, another 2 years of training if I want, and just another year competing without using any eligibility. I'll still have technically 4 years of eligibility after this if that goes through, and that would just be huge. Preparing myself to get back to that highest level.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be massive if this goes through, and I think it would be great for OCC, who's already doing great things and competing for championships. It's time to get into rapid fire. Charlie, you can ask me any question, any subject, anything you want. We're only live to people around the world on audio and video, so no pressure to either one of us. So, what are your thoughts? What would you like to ask me? And then we'll go back and forth. I'll ask you after.
Oh, you said you played basketball.
Yes, sir.
Where'd you play?
So, I played basketball. I did not do it through my high school. I actually went CYO route, and we played for St. Joe's. We took their JV team, did a bunch of awesome things, and then I think we were the best JV team that they had ever had at the time. And then our varsity team was number one within like the whole community when we went into the playoffs my last year. And I got the D3 call, which I will always appreciate, from Eric Grunman and Marywood University, which is where I ended up going. I was coming off a bad coach, and I kind of said that to Coach Grunman. I was like, you know, my coach that I had my senior year of high school, not the greatest guy. The guy got in my face, said some things like, and I'm not that type of human being. Like, I don't disrespect people like that. So I told him, I was like, I don't, you know, I don't want to take this out on you. Like, I mean, I'm not feeling great about it right now. He's like, well, you know, why don't you just come run with us? Even if you don't play this year, just get a feel for it. They gave me a basketball roommate, and the funniest thing is I met this guy, Pat, during my orientation. I switched my roommates, never even met the guy that I was supposed to room with. I ended up meeting him later on when I was covering the basketball team. So Pat and I end up being roommates, and I decide, like, hey, this first year in college, I'm not going to go out with this team because I need some time. I need some time to kind of heal from what I went through in high school in my senior year, because I don't believe in paying it backward, which I call like taking a bad thing and giving that to somebody else. So I ended up getting a phone call a few months into being there in November 2003. They asked me to broadcast the game. It started my career, and I started MU courtside, and then I never gave it up. My senior year of college, I thought about going out for the team because I love basketball so much, but I didn't want to let go of being a commentator. And so now I work with Game Point Sports Complex in East Syracuse, New York, and I get to go in there and train and still do my thing and shoot all the time with former Syracuse basketball players. Trish was in there yesterday, and, you know, Brian and Stratton guys and all that. So I still get the best of both worlds, but, you know, I'm a shooter, and I'm one of those guys where you could put me anywhere on the floor and I can make that shot. So my thing was more about going inside and navigating. And I will say that as I got older, I got more confident at being 5'8" and attacking the inside and trying to be creative, because when you're smaller, right, you can get blocked a lot. So you got to get creative once you get in. But I love the game. Love it all the time. I shut my brain off when I play. And I actually got to play basketball at Game Point Sports yesterday. I got to go in there, and I'm going to be airing these videos soon. My dog Lily came in, and I'm shooting a free throw, and she's standing next to me, and she gives me a high five after I make the free throw. So that was really cool to bring my little daughter out there and let her see what daddy likes to do. So My question back to you, Charlie, if you and I played one on one in basketball and then I wrestled you in the mat, are you winning both? Am I winning mine? Like, what's happening? Like, if you became basketball and I became a wrestler, tell me what's happening.
Oh boy. I mean, it's pretty awesome that you get to do your passion every day. That's pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I'm not much of a basketball player, but I think I'm a decent athlete, and I got that will.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll bring it to you. I don't know if I'm gonna get the win, but it's gonna be tough.
Okay.
And on the mat, no question, no question. On the mat, I take that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now, the way that my back feels, I just walk out there and be like, we're not doing this today. Or I'll be like, hey, do a move where you bend me backwards and just crack my back, and maybe that's what I need. So, I don't know what it is. I think I need my back crack. Like when they say you get a cold in your back, like you get a draft if you're by a window. That's what it kind of feels like right now. So maybe I need that. Maybe I just need to get on the mat and have somebody like crack my back.
A little adjustment, yeah.
Yeah. What's your next question for me?
Well, I was going to ask you if you played any other sports other than basketball.
So, pickup football, I do that. So I actually had a league a few years ago, and I had some businesses that I work with sponsored the league, and I actually played football with and against listeners to Wake Up Call. And so I got to actually go. I don't know many broadcasters that go and play a sport with the people that listen and watch their show, but I got to do that. We did it at Onondaga Lake Parkway a few years back and played quarterback. Probably my favorite game. There's two moments. There was one game where it rained for 4 hours straight, and we played through the whole thing. My hat was drenched. I was drenched, but I loved it. And I was like, man, like when you like watch movies and you see them like practicing or playing in the rain, and you're like, gosh, that looks awful. I don't know how they do it. And then you play a game like that. Like, no, I didn't have pads on, but like we were playing flag football, and I'm out there in this like rain that just kept beating more and more throughout the game. And I got in my car that day and I was like, this is one of my favorite games of my life. Then there was another one where I rolled out right. I threw a pass. It hit this guy and went up in the air. I caught it. And I was on the right side of the field. And I looked at everybody. And because there were guys that were already to the left side of the field. And guys on my team, not on my team, they kind of all went like this. Like, go. Because I didn't know if I could. And so I just ran forward into the end zone for a touchdown. Cam Newton did it a few years later with the Carolina Panthers. It was like a year or two later. So I sent a message to him publicly on Twitter, and I said, welcome to the club. So like, because if you throw a pass and it hits somebody and it bounces up and you catch it as the quarterback, you can't throw it again, but you can run.
Yeah.
So I ran it into the end zone, and then so I can say I did it before Cam Newton.
Right.
My question back to you, what's your single greatest moment in your wrestling career so far?
Oh, geez. My single greatest moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a specific moment, I don't think. Finishing up my senior year kind of sucked. I lost in the state finals, but just that feeling, like all that work I had done, all that work I put in, it was kind of like a relief. That was a good feeling. But like for winning, I would say I won sectionals 3 times. I would say the first one was nice. The first one I pinned my kid in the finals with an inside trip. It was a pretty slick move, and the first one's always the best. I would say that was fun. Everybody was yelling, screaming. There was a bunch of people. It was in the SRC arena. It was pretty awesome to do that. I think that I would probably highlight that one.
Okay. Do you feel like having sectionals and winning in the SRC arena kind of subliminally sold the message of OCC to you?
Maybe, yeah. Winning always in the SRC. We train here every day. The SRC arena. I would say the facilities here are awesome too, but maybe that's why I came here, because I've won a few section titles. I needed to be back here.
Yeah, to win some collegiate titles, and you already did. So I mean, it's only just begun for you though, of many titles to come. And like I told Charlie off the air, he's gonna stay at OCC a little bit longer. We're gonna get some crepes together. We're gonna enjoy some food in Central New York, and he's gonna make some history for this OCC wrestling program. What's your last question for me?
Well, I was gonna say, you played football with your listeners, so now you have to 1v1 me in basketball at 5 or something. You gotta do a 1v1 segment
Okay.
to like 7. I think that's the new thing.
Okay. All right. I mean, that you know what I've talked to people about. I've actually had conversations with like Binghamton University where I said, "What if I come to the field and like I just get to take a bunch of penalty kicks on the goalkeeper and see if I can get one in?" So I do like that. I like the opportunity. I think we. I mean, listen. If I said to Game Point Sports and Jim Dispenza, if I said I'm going to bring OCC over here and we're going to do a little thing, we're going to do a 1v1 or we're going to do pig or horse or something like that, and it's going to be Charlie versus me, like that. I think they would go for that in a heartbeat. I think they would love that stuff. So I think we might have to do it, Charlie. I think we might have to go over to Game Point Sports and see what you got on the basketball court.
I think I'll be down. I think I'm gonna get the win.
All right, okay. See, I do not talk trash prior to, and I'm going to tell you why. Because God and I are like this. Closest person to me. If I talk trash, I have immediate karma. Like if I
Oh,
was beating you 5-1 and I got in your face and I'm like, you can't guard me. You can't take this. I'll lose 7-5. Like that's just how it goes. So I don't talk trash. Like I don't say anything unless it's done and like the games. I might joke with you. I might get you to laugh. Like you might get by me and be going to the hoop for a layup and I'm going to say something ridiculous because I trust my comedy and you're going to laugh on the way up and you're going to miss it. So like I have that fun trash talking, but I think we got to do something. I think this is something we got to hold ourselves to. I did get to play pig against. Did I play pig or horse? I played pig against Lazara Sims, and we both made this crazy trick shot, like back to back, which was nuts. So I think we might have to do something, Charlie.
yeah, for sure. I mean, wrestling's weird. You don't talk at all. Like when you're wrestling, you're just focused. But basketball, football, that's like a whole different game.
Yeah.
You know, you could talk a little. I'll trash talk a little bit. Makes it fun, more competitive.
So yeah, I can respect it. So if you're my last question for you, if you're on the mat and you could wrestle any athlete that's not a wrestler, like you could pick anybody from the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL, whatever. If you could pick a current active athlete professionally to wrestle against, who would you want to take down in the mat?
That's not a wrestler.
That's not a wrestler.
Oh, geez, I have no idea. I mean, I probably watch, other than wrestling, I probably watch the most football, so I'd have to pick somebody in football.
Yeah, take somebody in football.
But I can't pick someone that's too like crazy. There's a lot of good wrestlers in football too. I would say like Micah Parsons comes to
Okay.
mind for sure. He's a good wrestler. I think that would be a good matchup. He's kind of big though. He's a
Yeah.
little bigger than me.
Yeah. I like how you kind of went into it like, I don't want to go with somebody too big, and then you went with Micah Parsons.
Yeah, then I
So
pick someone. Then I pick someone huge.
yeah, you pick somebody that definitely knows what they're doing. Laser Lounge, Charlie Foster, Onondaga Community College wrestling student athlete inside the 2025-26 season. Go and support them on campus at OCC as well as everywhere that we see wrestling go here. And of course, a shout out to our champion here, 4-0 over the weekend in the New York State Collegiate Wrestling Championships, hosted by Onondaga Community College, that featured NJCAA and NCAA institutions. He goes 4-0, wins a championship in his weight class. And Charlie, the best is yet to come. So I look forward to talking with you soon. And I look forward to figuring out a time for us to go to Game Point Sports Complex and film this and have some fun with it. So, and I'm just going to let the tape roll. We're not editing anything. We're just going to let it roll so people can see how it unfolded. But I look forward to talking with you soon and getting some basketball in our not too distant future.
I feel like it's unfair though. You said you're a shooter, and if we play horse, like that's not my game. We got a 1v1.
Okay, you want to 1v1 me because you got the wrestling side of it, and you want to because there's no ref there. So you want to foul me, and I want to shoot.
No.
So, hey, listen, we'll have to figure. I'm okay with 1v1. We can go out and do it. We can have some fun with it. So wrestling meets basketball. I like it. So let's figure out a time for us to do it. And I think it would be something cool for the community. So listen, I'm not one of those people that gives my word and takes it back. So you and I can definitely have a basketball matchup, and we'll figure out when we're going to do it.
I'm game.
All
Thanks
right.
for talking to me.
Thank you, Charlie. Shout out to your family and to Mark and Joanne and everybody. And shout out to the sauna. By the way, after that basketball game and Charlie, following me, pushing me, trying to, grab my arm and twist it back and do all these wrestling moves, I get to have the Foster sauna after that. So thanks, Charlie. Appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Take care. That coming from Charlie Foster one more time here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Make sure you support him and Onondaga Community College all throughout the 2025-26 season and beyond, and of course for the wrestling season. We're going to take a step aside here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. What did I just commit to? No, I'm kidding. I love playing basketball, but it's definitely going to be fun. The 1v1, man, got to get myself ready. See, the thing is I would feel so much better if I didn't feel so not myself right now with how my back and my neck feel. So once I get this thing worked out, and I know God is great, I've been feeling better throughout the week, so I know I'll get better. And, definitely my mom, we talk about his parents with the sauna. My mom's helped out with some treatment and different things like ideas that I should do and whatnot. So I look forward to it. Look forward to seeing Charlie out there, and I think we're going to have some fun. So with all my appreciation to Charlie and to the Foster family, we will take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, we will be joined by Paul Seeley, and we'll talk about the Big 44 game as well as what's coming up in the New York State semifinals for the NYSPHSAA.
This is Jim Dispenza, owner of Game Point Sports Complex. You hear the same story across any sport that kids play and any sport that adults play. There's never enough places to play. That was definitely true with volleyball, definitely true with basketball. Could be cheerleading, it could be field hockey, which is what we're seeing now. Every sport has a lack of places to play, and I think Syracuse in particular is a place where it's really bad. Despite the fact that we've got a lot of athletic talent around here, we just seem to have not enough places for people to play, and they're going to different places. They're going to Rochester, they're going to, Buffalo. They're going all different places because we don't have a place here, and I felt like that should change. This was a long project from planning all the way through execution to opening the doors. A lot of work went into it, obviously, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and the dream always was kids being in the gym, having a good time. And I've always felt like sports is the most unfiltered joy that you can observe with people that people can experience, because it is fun, it is a sense of accomplishment, it's all of that wrapped into one thing. And so watching kids going up and down the court with big smiles on their faces has been just amazing, an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to years to come of that same thing. We've taken the time to invest in multiple sports, and then what we're finding is the mere fact that we have a large, clean, well-lit space has opened a lot more doors for us beyond basketball, volleyball, pickleball. Now we're having some interest from cheerleading. We've got girls field hockey coming in, and then also there's quite a bit of room for spectators. We've got bleachers, we've got benches, we've got a concession lounge where people can get food and drinks. We're going to have multiple sports going at the same time, using every square inch of this place for what it was conceived for, which is basically people to come in, have a good time, the sport that they prefer. We manage each situation differently. Everybody has different ability to afford different things. Some are bringing 10, 15 people, some are just 2 people. I've had a lot of situations where it's a father shooting around with his son, it's a mother playing pickleball with her daughter or with her son, and then those situations come up and we work with people, and that's allowed us to have groups from 2 people up to 30 people and have some flexible pricing behind it. We're an organization that is here to work with the community any way we can, and I guess part of it is just making sure that we have the flexibility to put together a plan that makes sense regardless of the size of your group. So in order to book time, the best option is to go to our website, gamepointsports-syr.com. You can click from there and sign up for events, sign up for your own particular training, sign up for birthday parties, all of that.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Just talking with Charlie Foster about playing basketball at Game Point Sports Complex, and you just heard from the owner, Jim Dispenza. You can book time by going to gamepointsports-syr.com, and you can, of course, go to 211 South Center Street in East Syracuse to see what it's all about, but make sure you book your time before you go. So with that being said, we're back inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Always happy to be here with you on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Paul Seeley is here with me. I was wearing a 44 hat yesterday. He's wearing a 44 hat today. And in the big 44 game honoring Ernie Davis and Floyd Little, Section 3 versus Section 4 All-Stars. Section 3, 56-7. Takes down Section 4 at Norwich High School. And I'm here with Paul to talk about the game as well as the upcoming NYSPHSAA state semifinals. Paul, how we doing?
Good morning. Doing well.
So bring me into the game. Bring me into the big 44, Section 3 versus Section 4. They bring their best. You bring your best. And looking at this game, obviously leaned on the side of Section 3, 56-7. So bring us into the game.
Well, it was our 4th year. We had won 2, they had won 1. This year, to be fair to Section 4, we had over 30 players from A and AA schools, and they had 6.
Yeah.
They just don't have the amount of big schools, and the ones that are the best ones are still playing, except for Elmira, but they played that weekend anyways. They were unavailable. So, the best A and the best B and the best C teams and D are all playing this week up at CNS Friday and Saturday. So it was a little lopsided right from the start. It's, we played well. We had great players. And you can't take 3 knees and a punt all the time. So.
Yeah. And when you look at the game, I mean, some people that weren't able to get out there, they were asking me, like, where can I watch it? Where can I see it? So if you can paint a picture for us, Paul, of the game, of some of those touchdowns that you can reminisce about, for those that didn't get to the game and get to see it, if you could just tell us maybe some of those top plays, some of those top moments that stick with you.
Well, Norwich is a great location. I mean, it's in the Shenango Valley. You can see the hills around it.
Yeah.
Beginning of the game, it started to snow, and then it went away. We played the game. It was cold, but the kids had a ball. We had the 2 quarterbacks, one from Liverpool, one from Kaz. They threw the ball all over the yard, but our defense was really spectacular. Young man from Central Square was almost unblockable. Defensive end from Carthage. I probably should have their names in front of me. They escaped me. And the 3 running backs, Shawcross was from Indian River to Watertown, Converse, and the young man from Liverpool. Sorry, kid, forgot your last name too. They ran the ball well. It was really, we had a block punt, and then we brought it in for a touchdown a couple plays later. So, it was a well-balanced effort on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, not just the offense, but the defense to hold them to just 1 score, to hold them to 7. So, I mean, the excitement of this, I mean, the score is lopsided, but the excitement of getting out there, seeing these kids, seeing these All-Stars beyond the score, what does this game mean to the community? What does this game mean to these kids to have an extra game? And obviously, you know, it's heartbreaking because Section 3 and Section 4 All-Stars are made up of student athletes that are coming from teams that just lost. Maybe they lost in the championship game for the section.
Right.
So
Like Liverpool.
right, you know, like in Liverpool's case and with their student athletes. So when something like that happens and they think the season's over because of the Big 44 game, because of you and everybody that's worked to bring this to reality, their last game is not their last game. So just what that means to have this extra game.
Well, that's the important thing you just said. You know, I have a pet peeve when people say, oh, it's a meaningless game. I'll clear the record. There's no such thing as a meaningless football game if you're a football player. Maybe if you're a fan or administrator that don't want to do it anymore, or a coach that's had enough, but no such thing as a meaningless football game. These kids bonded. Some of them will be best friends forever because of 1 week of football. Football is a unique sport like no other. It bonds you for life. My guess is I probably won't be around for it, but maybe one of those guys will be best man in the other man's wedding. They really got along. It was a ball. We had 4 days of practice. The kids worked hard. The coaches did a great job preparing them.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's another football game. And we always tell kids, play it like it's your last game. Well, more than likely 90% of that team will never play football again. Never. So going out on a winning note where you lost maybe the last week or your season wasn't that productive, it's a great thing. If people came to practice and understood it more, it would mean more. But it certainly is fun. It's a week. We only have 2-hour practices. Yeah, there's no sprints at the end of practice. There's no yelling at the kids. It's just a time.
Yeah. You know, and like you said, I mean, there is no such thing as a meaningless game. And, you know, I would love it because I didn't have that opportunity when I was in high school. You know, I didn't, you know, playing basketball and whatnot, I didn't have the opportunity to say, okay, you just went up against all these guys and, you know, for the amount of time that you're out there playing on the court, your adversaries, and now you get to work together. I mean, I think it's great to be able to have something like that and say, like, you know, you're playing together.
Well, the other thing, too, is you have some small school players that can play. That'll make a difference what small school you went to. I mean, Salve's a C school. They had a player defensive back. You know, Watertown struggled all year, but their running back was real good. So you get to see players that can play. You know, Casanova is a C school. So there were some lower schools that had representation and played well.
Yeah, you know, and I applaud this. I applaud everybody that's worked on it to have this game. And I think it's incredible. I think it's exciting. I love the fact that you honor Floyd Little. I love that you honor Ernie Davis, that you honor the number 44. So, you know, to be out there and to be a part of this, Paul, I mean, what does it do for you personally? You love this game. I mean, you and I talk about, is there ever going to be a day where you don't love football and you don't love helping kids? So when you reflect on the Big 44 game, there's a lot that goes into it. And then once it's over, yeah, you're planning for the next one. But, like, do you take any time on the field to take a deep breath and kind of let yourself be in the moment that this game has such an effect? Yeah.
You know, I told you last year, I'm a lucky guy. I found the passion. I'm still, you know, I can still do it. I coach at ITC, Institute of Technology. We went to the finals. Kids are great. I'm fine. You know, sometimes they think, well, are you too old to relate? Nah, football players are football players. You act a little different, but for the most part, it's the same game. It does the same thing. It bonds people together.
Yeah.
It's unique in that way. You know, we do a lot more for, I'm bragging, but I mean, we have a statewide coaches association. I don't know of any other sport that does that. We have a local NFF, National Football Foundation. We've raised over $500,000. I don't know if another sport does that. We run 2 all-star games for, you know, and I don't know of any other sport that does that. So, we try to raise the bar and rise to it. We want to be known in Section 3 football as a class act, and we do for our kids as much or if not more than anybody else.
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out here, and if you'll allow me, because this'll take a couple breaths for me to do, but I want to shout out all these kids because they deserve it. We look at Section 3, the victor in this 56-7 over Section 4 in the Big 44 game. Jack Converse, running back, Watertown. Alex Salome, wide receiver, CNS. Philip Moore, cornerback, ESM. Freddie Castro, defensive end, Corcoran. Hugh Carroll, linebacker, Skinny Atlas. Khalil Conklin, cornerback, Henniger. Trevor Shawcross that you mentioned, running back, Indian River. Ariel Raymond, cornerback, Indian River. Kamari Jones, linebacker, ESM. John Sindoni, quarterback, Liverpool. Elijah Welch, wide receiver, West Hill. Jacob Gezzi, safety, West Hill. Anthony Mancuso, linebacker, Auburn. Bobby Livingston, quarterback of Kaz. Donovan Cheney, linebacker of CNS. Jacob Frost, safety, Solvay. Jaden Cotton, cornerback, Fowler. Jeff Petties, defensive end, Nottingham. Ale Rivera, who I sat with, running back, Liverpool. Anthony Guidone, I might say that wrong. I apologize if I did. Safety, Jamesville DeWitt. Connor Hickey, linebacker, Carthage. Carter Bowden, defensive end, Kaz. Lacuzio Wright, safety, CNS. Michael Salhafer, wide receiver, RFA. Walter Phillips, wide receiver, Proctor. Jalen Barnett Hunter, cornerback, Nottingham. Dom Scarfino, defensive tackle, West Hill. Ryan Fleischman, defensive tackle, Central Square. Donovan Kenner, offensive line, CNS. Jake Knapp, offensive line, Liverpool. Nathan King, offensive line, Corcoran. Moses Sean, offensive lineman, Utica, Notre Dame. We also have Callan Kennedy, offensive lineman, Baldwinsville. Flynn Malgeri, offensive lineman, FM. Cole Henning, offensive lineman, Liverpool. Brock Hoffman, offensive lineman, Carthage. Aniko Abani, wide receiver, Cortland. Aaron Holcomb, tight end, Beeville. Deontay Smith, defensive end, Fowler. Zach Pettit, defensive end, Carthage. Henry Reeves, defensive tackle, Cortland. And Zaire Lewis, defensive tackle, Corcoran. I didn't want to leave a name out here. Just what
that's great.
What this roster means to you. Go ahead.
The D-back from J.D. Guion, I can't pronounce his name either, but him and Welsh from West Hill, they started out as defensive backs. A few receivers decided not to play. They went over the other side of the ball. Most of those kids on that team played both ways. So It wasn't a hard transition. Jaden Cotton from Fowler, what a great kid to coach. Just a smile on his face every day. Couldn't be more excited to play. Return punts, intercepted, return kickoffs. And, he was great. The Carthage Pettit defensive end, he can play. So, there's just a lot of great kids. I don't want to short anybody because they all can play.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to thank Rocco Carbone once again because I asked him to send over these rosters, and he did that and was able to get me all the information so I could shout out the kids. I want to shout out Section 4, if I may, as well in this Big 44 game because you do it for the kids. So if I'm not saying the names, I don't think we're truly doing it right. Will Brainerd at Trumansburg, Grayson Thomas, Deposit Hancock, Noah Bass, Deposit Hancock, as well as Isaiah Hampton from Bainbridge, Guilford, and we have Jeremiah Diaz, Deposit Hancock, Dalen Camp, OG Green, Jackson Hoover, Newark Valley, Josh Wilson, Horseheads, Zach Parker from Norwich, Sean Green from Groton, where I got my dog Shady back in the day, Cooper Bange from Corning, we have Carmelo Miles from Dryden, Jaden DeLeon from Harpersville, Afton, Connor Davey from Bainbridge, Guilford, we have Logan Amon from SVEC, Caden Skinner from Shenango Valley, Parker Boutis from Bainbridge, Guilford, as well as Julian Adams from Vestal, Gage Siemens from Groton, Connor Sherwood from Trumansburg, Carson Schofield from Walton, Charlie Hilbert from SVEC, Zach Turner and Connor White from Norwich, Darren Wally from Walton, Wyatt McNeil from Horseheads, Derek Johnson from Waverly, Max Hansbrough from Maine Endwell, who I've gotten to know Maine Endwell a lot over the years, Ethan Carr from Dryden, Pat Esselin from Deposit Hancock, Alex Etzel from Horseheads, Talon O'Connor from Groton, as well as Oliver Jackson from Lansing, Hakeem Dade from Deposit Hancock, Mickey Place from Corning, Tanner Miller from Maine Endwell, Caden Wiki from Dryden, Jace Clark from Whitney Point, Leland Montgomery from Norwich, Braden McMillan from Lansing, and as well as Jaime Warner from Shenango Valley, Micah Simmons from Deposit Hancock, Mark Henley, Jean Francois from Johnson City, Anthony Murrow from Trumansburg, and Aiden Mellum from OG Oxford. So despite the loss and the score of this thing, just what you want to say about Section 4.
Well, they play hard. I mean, they just, unfortunately, we were just so much bigger up front and faster. And that's not a knock against those kids. They played hard. They played right to the end. And, 2 years ago, they beat us down at Vestal. You never know what happens. It's an all-star game. Things happen.
Yeah, I mean, and to the coaching staffs, too, I want to give credit here, Paul, to the coaches that we had come out and be a part of this. And so the coaching staff for Section 4 All-Stars led by Brad Tom from Shenango Valley. And then, of course, when we look at Section 3 and their coaching staff that was led by Mike Barfield, just what you want to say about these head coaches as well as the coaching staffs in general, and just what it means to have them all come together, because as these kids are playing with kids that they go up against, these coaches are coaching with coaches that they go up against as well, or coaches that they may not know going into the game.
Well, I don't know the Section 4 staff at all, really. Our staff, Mike Barfield of Cortland did a great job.
Yeah.
Santoni ran the offense, Castleman the defense, the Miola, Mike Jr., Derek Williams from Follow. Good coaches, and they did a great job. They coached the kids during the week. I told the kids at the beginning of the week, don't give the coaches a hard time and go 100 miles an hour. And the coaches won't yell at you, and they're not going to try to change your style or your mechanics unless you ask. So they're easy kids to coach. You tell them once, and it gets done. And some of the coaches, again, when you have a tough season and it's hard, and then you end on the All-Star game where kids just can do what you tell them, or they actually know what they're doing and can contribute. I've never had a coach say, "Don't ever ask me again." That much
Yeah, like you said, you never had a coach said let's not do this again, and you're on the Section 3 side, but working with Section 3 and Section 4 together, what is that conversation like with them? Like you said, I mean, you take care of your staff, and you look at the All-Stars, you come together and you figure out who's going to be working together and whatnot. But how often are you talking to Section 4 and just kind of working things out? What's that back and forth like with Section 4?
Well, all we do is work with Steve Verkler, the former coach of Owego. He sets it up, he does whatever, and we really don't have much of a conversation until after the game, where you shake hands and congratulate each other. So, there's just not enough time to do that. We practice 5 days, 2 hours a day max. I wouldn't let I didn't want to be a drudgery for the kids. Some kids came from basketball practice, and we want to be respectful of the winter sports as well.
Yeah, and as we take a look at going into what is coming up here in the state semifinals, so from the Big 44 game, All-Stars Section 3, Section 4, where Section 3 won this year. Like you said, 4 times that we've had this game. Section 3's won it 3, Section 4's won it once. Section 3 wins again here 56-7, and we look forward to the NYSPHSAA state semifinals. Those are going to be hosted by Cicero North Syracuse, by the high school and the North Stars. I actually just got off the phone this morning with Director of Athletics Tim Bednarski. So bring me into the state semifinals and your thoughts about what we're going to see this weekend, Paul.
Well, you're going to see good games. I mean, they're the Western champs. They've gone through the process. There's only 2 games left in the state. Owego upset New Hartford. They were really good on a last-second field goal. Main end, well, I mean, Union Endicott pretty much handled Whitesboro, who was tough. And Shenango Forks. What do you say about Shenango Forks? Multi-state championships, multi-years of playoffs. It's a great program. And, of course, CBA will be playing, Bennett, which I hope there's no controversy in that game.
Yeah.
So, it looks forward. And then, the weather's going to be a factor. What are they predicting? A few inches of snow and cold and blustery. So, when the weather plays into it, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this schedule that we have right now, the West semis, we have at CNS, Friday, November 28th, so the day after Thanksgiving at noon Eastern time, we have the 8-man regional championship, Morrisville Eaton, who I just honored their running back, who had the game-winning touchdown in the Dome to win the section for 8-man in Section 3. They'll take on Eldred, so that's Section 3 versus Section 9. And then also on Friday, November 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Class D semifinal, New Fane from Section 6 will take on Tioga of Section 6 as well, it's saying here.
No, Tioga is 4.
Yeah, I don't know why it did that. They reverse the thing. It says 6 versus 6, so it's 6 versus 4. And then Friday, November 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time at CNS, the Class A semifinal, Brighton from Section 5 will take on Union Endicott of Section 4. And then on Saturday, November 29th at noon Eastern Time, the Class C semifinal will have Chautauqua Lake, Westfield, Brockton, which is all one school. That's Section 6 will take on Shenango Forks of Section 4. And then on Saturday, November 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, the Class B semifinal, Monroe of Section 5, Owego Free Academy of Section 4. And on Saturday, November 29th, the final game we'll see in the West semifinals at CNS at 6 p.m. We will see the Class AA semifinal, Bennett, Olmsted, Middle Early College East. That's all one school. Section 6 will take on Christian Brothers Academy of Section 3. So a full slate of games going to be happening at CNS, and we have the 8-man regional championship and then a bunch of other semis. When we're looking Class AA, B, C, A, D, when you're looking throughout these classes, I know you talked a little bit about some of the games here and mentioned CBA, but what should we look forward to, whatever class is out there on the field?
The Class B, Monroe out of Rochester, they are really fast. We saw them at the 7-on-7 Cortland. Their receiver, who was originally going to Syracuse, is going to Oregon, and they're just a fast team. Malcolm Barner, a defensive back who used to play at ESM, he's an outstanding athlete. So they're loaded with athletes. It's going to be an interesting game to see. And again, I don't know much about the other teams. I wish I did. Some of the combo teams out of Section 6. Look at, you got this far, you're good.
Yeah.
There's no automatics.
And when we look at, Christian Brothers Academy, we know that, a private institution, you're not district, right? So you can get student athletes from anywhere. What can you say about the talent of Christian Brothers Academy, who's looking to win their, I'm thinking of their titles. They had 2021, 2023, 2024. So they're looking to win their 4th in 5 years and their 3rd straight.
Correct. Well, they're big up front, and that always is where football is won. And they've got good skill. They've got a few kids that have been offered, Division I offers. They're not signed yet, so it's, anything can happen. But they're well coached. They're well balanced. They can play. Bennett's got, I don't know much about Ben. A few years ago, they came in. Woo, they made this. They were state champs and runner-up the year before. So, they draw from a lot of city kids in Buffalo. So, again, if it's snowing, cold, windy, you never know.
Now, for you, Paul, how do you take in these games? Are you a fan? Do you watch it from a coach's point of view? How do you allow yourself to watch the game? Are you kind of watching with a critical eye where you're looking through and going, they shouldn't have ran that play or done that, or do you just kind of sit and watch as a fan?
I kind of do both. Okay. It's hard. You're watching it. I'm just fortunate. All the games I've coached and all the films I've watched, I can see things a little faster and understand, basically what happened. You never know until you watch the film of what really happened. And sometimes I just like to sit back and watch some football.
Yeah, well, we're going to be able to sit back and do it right after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 28th, Saturday, November 29th. We'll be able to see those games in the West at Cicero, North Syracuse, and the NYSPHSAA. Paul, you get the final word, just what you want to say about everyone involved in the Big 44, as well as all of the kids still playing for a state title.
Well, first of all, I always give the game ball to Rocco Carbone, who does a ridiculously great job for us. Media takes it. I mean, nobody gets paid, but he acts like he's, a full-time employee, which you want. Yeah. You want people that want to put their stamp on it. Pride, the coaches did well, the players, the NFF, that support the game. Brad Kieser of BMK Logistics, he does a great job in buying the uniforms for both teams. The U.S. Army, they support us. So it's all good. I couldn't do it alone. We've got a lot of help.
Yeah, Paul Seeley, the director of the Big 44 game, and obviously in connection, all the work that you've done in this community and talking about the NYSPHSAA. Paul, very humble guy. I never hear him, anytime I've talked to him on the show, he never talks about how great he is. He talks about everybody else and he talks about the kids. So, Paul, thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us an extra game for these student athletes that when it's over, it's not truly over.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. God bless to you and your family, and I'll talk with you soon.
Bye.
See you. That coming from Paul Seeley one more time here on Wake Up Call. I love the fact, and that's really the essence of it, right? When it's over, it ain't over, and that's what I love. I love the fact that we have this Big 44 game for Section 3 and Section 4 going up against each other, so that when you have the heartbreak of losing in the sectional playoffs, that may not be the last time we see you on the field. And it may not be the last down that you have to take. So it's like you have the heartbreaking side of it of, okay, we didn't win a championship, but the following week I get to go out there, I get to play, I get to showcase myself. These are high school kids, so that extra film, that extra game, that could help them with somebody who's recruiting them or someone who's not recruiting them that may start recruiting them. And to get to play with the guys that you went up against, there's some guys you may not have played, guys you don't know, and then there might be guys that you know very well. And now you get to be teammates for a week, for a game, for some practices. I mean, that's invaluable. And that can bring memories that nothing else can bring. So without the Big 44 game, we'd be missing something. So thank you to Rocco Carbone, Paul Seeley, to everybody, to everyone at Section 4, to all the coaches that helped out, all the student athletes, the families, the schools, and all the student athletes, the families, the schools, and the coaches of Section 3. I thank you all. I appreciate you all. And I wish you a happy early Thanksgiving. With that being said, we're going to take a step aside here, and we'll get ready for fantasy football right after this. Stay with us.
Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Bryan and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Bryan and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Bryan's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So Canine Camp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. Canine Camp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that Canine Camp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making Canine Camp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry loving friend. Right, Lily?
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Go see them for sales and service Monday through Saturday. Let them know the DT sent you. You can get a sneak peek of everything to buy and lease. Their new and used vehicles are on GreatLakesHondaCity.com. That's GreatLakesHondaCity.com. We're going to end this video, start a new one for fantasy football. As you know, fantasy football, we do so much work with it that it becomes its own broadcast within Wake Up Calls. So we're going to end this video and this audio feed, come right back on these same channels. So don't you go anywhere. We'll be back here where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Stay with us.